Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. We're in the Eventuri development bay, and Nathan from AutoID has kindly brought his G90 M5 down to us so we can start the Eventuri development. I've eagerly been awaiting a drive of this car, but first we need to let Bilal do his thing and start on the intake project, and I'll go for a drive after that.
So I've got the M5 in my development bay. I know Imran wants to take the car for a drive, but I'm more interested in the intake development. So this is the S68 engine, which is an update to the previous S63 version. Let's open the hood and have a look at the layout. So initial thoughts, it's very, very similar to the previous version. The airboxes look similar. They're going through similar strut brace designs. The central position is all the same. So it all looks really similar on the top, but the only way to really understand what's going on is to start taking this apart. And that's what I'm about to do now. We finished the 3D scanning. It gives me a really good idea of how to start designing the system. There are a lot of similarities between this and the F90. The carbon intakes themselves do fit in place, but the cold air feeds are quite different because on this system, which we've seen on an American car with IND as well, they've actually blocked off the cold air feeds to the ducts. So although there are entry points from the front grills, if you look into those entry points, they're blanked off. Something we're going to have to address, but that leads us onto how we're going to tackle the entire intake design. So we will look at redesigning the whole system to try and optimize that cold air feed into the intakes. I'm going to put this back together now because Imran has been patiently waiting to drive the car. So once that's done, I'll hand it over to Imran and he will take it from there.
So I've had every M5 from E39 upwards. We still only own the E39, so that tells you something about that car. That makes sense. So good. BMW set the benchmark for fast saloons. They're comfortable, they handle, they're quick, and they've continued that with every generation. But every generation's been really different. So you had E39, which is a V8, then you had E60, which is a V10, and then you had F10, which was turbocharged. F90 was four-wheel drive. Yep. Now this one is the same as the F90, but it's also hybrid, which is very new.
So it seems like with every new M5 that comes out, this is where they're testing out their new technology for what's to come, right?
Yeah.
Is that kind of is what happens?
Yeah. So when they have a new technology they have to implement or they can implement, they put it into the M5, and so it's an evolution every time. Yeah. They're completely different cars from one step to another, but this one obviously with the electrification is very different, but I think it's going to be similar to the F90 purely because of the four-wheel drive setup, and then you've been able to do rear-wheel drive if you want. But what people will find handy is because it's hybrid, it'll be a lot cheaper for company car owners.
That's it, yeah, benefit in kind tax.
And I think that's where they're going to actually sell a lot of these cars. They are expensive, but the benefit in kind tax, I believe, on hybrid cars is around 11%. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, which is
it's a lot lower.
Lot lower than if it was full petrol. But Yeah, I mean, immediately you can
feel the torque in the passenger seat.
you can feel the torque from the electric motors.
So we're in the normal hybrid mode. So we
Okay.
have got Dynamic Plus, which steps it up a bit.
Yep.
Should we put it into
Yeah,
that?
stick it in that one.
That's what I've been driving the car on. And if you go into M2, that's MDM.
Yep.
Yeah, we're cushy now.
So you've had time to figure out all the
I've figured
settings.
out all the buttons now. It's got an interior camera in it that takes photos of you as well when you smile,
Okay.
which is a little bit weird.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Where are they sending those?
I don't know. I think the reason for that is Jack made a good point. He was like, maybe it's if you crash, where it's got so much electrification and like self-driverless, maybe BMW could use it against you if you was on your phone.
Oh, that's a
But
point.
I don't know.
Yeah. But in terms of like ride comfort, this is actually very good. It's super comfortable as you'd expect an M5 to be. It is a big car, so it feels a lot like a 7 Series
Yep.
in terms of size. Which is coming up to some country lanes. Now, what I will say as well is today is like 0 degrees. It's slightly damp and icy, and the car still has plenty of grip. This is a very narrow road as well. So obviously the big thing with this car, that people keep talking about. Woo, that's a bit fruity.
Hankook.
Yeah. Is it Hankook tyres as well?
Hankook
Great.
tyres.
You didn't win the tyre lottery.
No.
Is the weight of the car. Now, in my brief drives of it so far, I can't say I've felt that, but you've been driving it a lot longer and it's your car, so you've been
Yeah.
pushing it further than I will.
That's it. So when I kind of first got in the car, I was like, what do they mean it's so heavy? It doesn't feel heavy in the slightest, like in terms of steering feel and everything like that. I think just cruising it around, you can't feel the weight in this car at all. To the point where I even said, like, general actually driving the car around town, the F82 even feels like a heavier car just driving it normally. But then when you do start to push it on hard, I don't know, what did that do then when we lost a little bit of
Yeah,
grip?
so there, the rear just stepped out.
Oh,
so the rear
stepped
bias,
out.
yeah.
Okay, I
There
have
was
had it a
no
couple-
understeer at all.
Oh, nice. I have had it a couple times where it feels like the front starts to wash out a little bit first,
Yeah.
and then the rear comes round, and I notice the weight when I'm braking. I don't know, especially when you come to a stop, like it feels like it's a bit. Yeah.
I'd be interested to know what it feels like on some Michelins though,
Yeah.
because I think Michelin developed the tyres for this car.
Yeah.
The OE spec
PS5s.
ones. Yeah.
PS5Ss. So.
Yeah. So I'd be really interested to see that. Now, I don't have a huge amount of experience with Hankooks, but I don't think they're as good as Michelin's.
No, definitely not. But these still are developed for this car. They're still
Yeah.
like a star rated tyre and stuff like that. But it is 0 degrees outside at the moment.
Yeah.
And the roads are a little bit.
I mean, under acceleration, it still grips. That bit stepping out was just me provoking it a little bit.
Well, the other interesting thing is, obviously, our friends over at I&D, they've just had this car on a dyno and it produced 820 brake horsepower.
Yeah, I'll
Which
take
is-
those figures with a pinch of salt because yeah, that it feels so
This is
fast. It's
quick.
ridiculous. Because that's done on a dyno jet, and we don't know what they've used in for transmission losses,
That makes sense.
drivetrain
yeah.
losses. So I think it made 666 wheel horsepower on a dyno jet, which is still pretty decent. That's much more than an F90 would make. It's almost like a stage 1 F90.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on these roads at these speeds, it's nimble. Obviously, guys, the rear's stepping out because we've got it in MDM mode, so it's allowing a
Shall
little
I
bit of
put
slip.
traction on or?
Yeah, you can stick traction on, and we'll see what it's like. But I mean,
Imran's
that makes it fun.
Me.
First time passenger in your own
First
car.
time passenger, we've got the rear end out, lovely.
Yeah, see, so with the forward drive engaged, it just gripped. But that's the duality is great on these cars. The fact that you can have some fun with it,
That's it.
despite the size. And this road is super narrow, so our international viewers will be like, oh my god, what are you doing on this road? But we're kind of used to it. And obviously you've done your own review on this, so if people want to have a bit more in-depth review on what the car's like, they can watch that video. We'll put a link to it. But initial impressions are it's good. It's an evolution of the F90 for me.
I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, but you need to spend more time with it. It needs to be not your car, so you can push it a little bit further to scare you too much. But interior-wise, it's pretty much the same. It's obviously an updated design, but quality-wise, it doesn't feel too different.
See, a lot of people online were saying the quality is a downgrade from the F90 in terms of the actual materials used.
Okay, possibly. I've not had enough.
I think this is very techy. This area with like you've got so many different types of materials being used on the door, but it feels very premium to me.
Yeah, but so how is the interior compared to a G80?
I feel like this is a massive step up.
It feels like it's a step up. Okay.
Yeah.
Because when the G80 came out, for us the interior was the same level as an F90.
Ah, yeah.
See, so then maybe this one's a slight step up again, but it doesn't. I mean, I've only been sitting in the car for 5 minutes. It doesn't automatically look cheap to me.
No,
This
LED is quite out there.
Yeah, the
Spaceship
ambient lighting is
vibes.
crazy. And you guys have a body kit coming out soon?
Yes, we are literally in the works of designing our body kit. The rear spoiler is now complete. The body kit is looking really cool, so we're gonna have to get one of them out to you so you can test it on your car, which you've got coming.
Yep.
Do these guys know you're getting one?
Yeah, everyone knows.
Yeah, so yeah, the kit's coming along really well. Our rear spoiler is going to be finished as of, well, it's going to be with us next month, so we are really excited for that. We're trying to, it's probably one of the hardest cars to actually design a body kit for though, to be honest. It's got very different sort of styling aspects to every other BMW.
Yeah.
And yes, it's upsetting everyone. Yes, people don't like the look of it, but I can promise a lot of yous, once you see them with a body kit on, your views are probably going to change.
The torque is just instant.
It feels fast in the passenger.
So if your car ever feels slow, all you need to do is get in the passenger seat and let someone else drive it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what your kit's like. Our car should be coming soon, and I hope obviously we'll be starting all the tuning development on it.
Yeah, nice.
Like we did on the F90. But Nathan, thanks for letting me drive your car and scaring you.
No, that's all good, bro. I've enjoyed it.
And we will see you soon.
Thank you, Imran.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please remember to subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on. If you want to join the conversation, please drop us a comment below and we will do our best to respond to you. And if you're running out of things to watch, why don't you watch one of these two?